Alright, so today we have a Bombardier Traxter. Not sure what year, but either way it's having a problem starting. It makes a grinding noise, and this is about what it sounds like. Definitely doesn't sound very good. It does crank though, so I'm kind of thinking Sprag clutch, maybe a Sprag gear or something has some worn out teeth, but we'll take it apart and find out. Here's inside the ignition cover / water coolant cover. There's a stator or whatnot, and then underneath is your Sprag clutch, and that's what we're fixing today. Here's the Sprag clutch bearing, and this is the spring that goes all the way around, holds all the dog bones in, all little bearings, whatever you want to call them. And I just shortened it, so there's a splice. They basically just screw the spring, each end, back into themselves to make a loop. So you can unscrew it and then clip some off to make it shorter, and then screw them back together and maybe just pinch them just a little bit so they're not going to come undone. And we'll put it back together and I'll show you how it works. Here's how it should sound when you get it fixed. And there you have it. The Sprag clutch is no longer grinding and everything seems to be good. And here it is after the Sprag clutch repair, and we'll let you hear how it starts up. About perfect. Okay, so I thought I'd do a little commentary to add some more information that wasn't mentioned in the video that might be nice to know. Number one, of course, drain the fluids before you start. You're going to want to drain the coolant and the oil, because if not, when you open the ignition cover, they're going to drain anyway. So get that taken care of at first. Second, when you pull the ignition cover, of course, you're going to have to get a new gasket. Finding one is probably hard, and if you do, it's expensive most likely. So I just went to Napa and got some gasket material and made one, and it worked great. So just make one if you have to. Just make sure you use gasket material that is suitable for oil, coolant, and gas. I also replaced the oil separating foam while I was in there just because it was falling apart. I'll see if I can find a part number and post it here. Now, as far as the Sprag clutch repair, if there's any damage to the Sprag clutch, any of the gears, anything like that that you can find, just by all means replace the whole Sprag clutch assembly. However, if everything is good, like in this case, there wasn't any damage that I could tell to anything, then yeah, just tighten the spring. The spring was completely loose. It wasn't even holding the dog bones in place at all. So I just took off the spring, like I showed you in the video, trimmed it about 1 inch, re-screwed it back into itself. And when you do that, by the way, when you're putting the spring back together, before you actually thread into each other, counter spin it about 5 or 10 times. That way, when you connect them and you splice it together and you turn them and thread them into each other, it's not all twisted at the end. So that'll help you get a better spring. Also remember that it's an automatic transmission, at least in this model, so it shares the oil with the engine, which means you need to have JSO certified oil at the very minimum. Just check your owner's manual, make sure you get the right certifications on the oil so it has the additives in there to allow the transmission to shift and run properly. Anyway, best of luck with the repair. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them below, and if I don't get back with you, hopefully someone else will. Thanks.